Hello! Today we will be making the origami crane. This is a part of Mr. Origami's blog. I'm doing a series of origami instructional videos. Hope you enjoy. At the end of the video, please leave a comment or suggestions on how I can best improve my video. I hope you enjoy. So let's begin. This is the origami crane. It's very traditional. It's the symbol of, basically the symbol of origami because it's the easiest to make and probably the base of so many other bits of origami. So, well, let's begin. What the hell does a crane make sounds? I don't know. Alright then, let's begin with a 8.5 by 11-inch paper. This is known as letter size in America, or A4. In all truth, you can basically do it in virtually any size paper as long as the corners are squared. Hell, you can even do it with with a gum wrapper. So let's begin. As always, we're going to make a square. Easiest way to make a square is simply by folding the paper's corner into a triangle. As you know, a square is made up of 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. We have 4 right angles, but not all the sides are equal. To make the sides equal, all we have to do is match this side up with this. And the best way to do that is to simply fold, so that now that this side will align up with this side. There we go. And you'll notice that I do my creases pretty fast and pretty accurate. It's basically due through years of experience. So the more practice you get by following my videos or practicing off on your own, the better you'll get. I'm going to actually be very focused on technique over sort of memorizing folds, mainly because if you always have proper technique, you can sort of translate any diagram. All different diagrams, they all have lots of particular ways of folding. I always love taking the extra step. Now, next what we could do is we're going to follow the last edge and sort of tear it off to form the square. In many instructions, they always tell you to fold over this fold. You'll see that you have a fold right here, and you can just use that as a template. I don't like that. The problem with it is this paper is not purely two-dimensional. It has a thickness. Thus, if it has a thickness, if you fold over, you'll actually have a slight gap. Now, in origami, when you get to the master's level or any of the other levels, or dragon level or fish level, whatever, you want to basically be as accurate as possible. And I like to do that by simply doing it on the opposite side. See, if I do it on the opposite side, I'm not folding over this piece of paper, thereby actually having as close to square as I can get. And once I do that, I simply take a look at my corners and simply just fold along the crease. Now, I make it look simple because I just instantly just jump in. Take your time to measure it out. Through years of practice and thousands of hours, I've been able to make a square with my eyes closed. Well, not necessarily with my eyes closed, but if I were ever to be blinded, I probably think I can still do it, right? And in order to cut this paper, take your time. You can use a knife, you can use a paper cutter, or you can buy paper already perfectly cut into a square. But if you need to cut it by tearing, like let's say you tear a bubblegum wrapper or anatomy piece of paper, here's a trick. Take your time. Notice how I'm pinching, I'm sort of pinch folding, and then I'm leaving this part wide. Well, I'm leaving this part wide so that I can pull it apart. Take your time, and you'll have a perfect tear every single time. And another thing that's very critical is that your crease is as sharp as possible. There it is, a perfect square. Okay, first bit of lessons that you need to know is this right here is called a valley fold. Based on the perspective of you looking down, this is a valley fold. Here's the 2 mountains, and look, there's a valley in between. If it was in the opposite direction, and they're telling you to do a mountain fold, that's from your perspective. So quite often you'll probably have to turn a paper over, fold it, so this way you see that this right here is talking in respect to you, your eyes looking down. This is a mountain fold. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 valley folds diagonally to form a triangle. Now we're going to do it to the opposite side. Now, normally when you do, we make the crane base. The base before the crane base is called a water bomb base. The way they teach you how to make the water bomb base is that, you know, you take your paper, you fold it in half, and then you just bring it across, and I don't like that. I like pre-creasing everything. The reason why you want to pre-crease everything is so that you can have, it just basically comes together and you have the best accuracy you can. Next, after we've done our 2 valley folds, we're going to flip it over and then do another valley fold, but basically make a smaller rectangle. Or, yeah, basically make a rectangle. Another origami friend of mine who teaches little kids call this the hamburger fold. So I'll just call this the hamburger fold because this is just an easy way to remember it. 2 hamburger folds. Perpendicular. And there it is. Now, the other method I told you, they just take the paper and they fold over it, but guess what? You can do the same thing. See, once you've already pre-creased everything, watch as these as the sides just open up and it easily becomes a water bomb base. Now, let's say if you had like a regular piece of paper and then you try to form that, then you have to, you know, move it here, and pray that it lines up. But I don't like that. I just basically pre-crease. You take a little bit of extra time, but notice how it easily comes together. Now, now that we're at the water bomb base, I'm going to actually teach you what's called the crane base. Now, on this side, I'll teach you how to do it traditionally. Know that origami is very, very forgiving, so you can just as easily have it a little bit off, and it wouldn't matter. But the problem with doing it traditionally is that you're folding 2 slight pieces of paper over each other, so you're not going to get the most accurate. On the back side, I'll also show you how I fold it in sort of a non-traditional way. It's sort of a more accurate style. And the traditional way is to basically, on the side where there's a flap, notice how there's an open mouth right here, and sort of like a little mountain peak right here. The side that can open. This side right here where it has the gap, you're going to fold this line to this midpoint right here. So we're going to take that and match it up. And I folded this up. You don't need to fold this up because this is white paper. Camera's not the best thing in the world. If you had colored paper, orange paper, or whatever different color paper, you can easily see that crease and go to the middle. But since this is white paper and the camera may not be able to pick it up, I just folded it up so that this way you could see this shadowed reference. Go ahead and fold it to the middle. And again, take your time. You can be slightly off with this and it'll still come out. There we go. And then you do the same for the opposite side. And now we're going to sort of open this up and form the crane base. Notice I have a little gap right there. That's actually perfectly acceptable when making the crane. Open it up, and then what you're going to do is you're going to open the mouth. And then see how this fold right here is a valley fold? We're going to basically fold it so that it becomes a mountain. This fold right here is just going to be reversed. What you do is you open the mouth, and then you tuck in the cheek. See how I do that? Open the mouth, and then tuck in the cheek. And then reverse that fold. And you do the exact same to the opposite side. You fold down and then you fold up. Now you repeat this on the opposite side and you get the water bomb base. Now I'm going to show you how I do it non-traditionally, because when I'm working with smaller paper like let's say the gum wrapper, I want to be as accurate as possible, and the best way to do that is that I actually take the time to open it up. Once I open it up, notice how that the folds are right here, 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 and here. I basically do that manually where I'll open up the paper and I'll just actually create the valley folds manually. And let me just go through that and you could see my process. And then you'll see how once I do these folds manually, how easily the water bomb base just comes together easy as pie. See? I basically fold them manually instead of actually double folding, because as you saw earlier, when you had it all together, basically I just fold on top of each other. When you're folding 2 layers of paper, see that? 2 layers of paper, you're going to have a little bit of something that goes off. And it can't be helped, but if you can prevent it like how I do it, like where I'm just folding each side one by one, then it's better. So let's bring the paper together. Notice how fold in half, and then bring it open like that. And right here, this is where it was in the back, how, you know, we folded inward and then we open the mouth and sort of tuck in the cheek. Well, on the opposite side, well, look how easy it is. You simply open it up, and look, I don't have to reverse this fold. It's already a mountain fold. All I have to do is push it in, and look, easy as pie. It goes instantly in. You don't have to reverse the fold. It just automatically goes there. And then you simply fold it up, and then there it is. And of course, oops, forgot to do the other side. Fold it up. this right here is the crane bird base. This is the base for so many other bits of origami. In the next one, I'm going to teach you guys how to make flowers, particularly a blossom. And then this dragon is intermediate. It looks really complicated. You know, 4 legs, wings, jagged tail, horn in the back of the head. This is actually based off of this. This right here is actually based off of this. With a couple of more modifications and probably double the amount of time that you make a crane, you can easily make a dragon. And we'll get to the dragon later. But first, I want you to get as much practice with the water bomb base. Origami is something that, you know, is just like all other types of art. You simply dive into it slowly, and then over time you either have a natural talent and you can jump fast, or you take your time and you can easily develop that natural talent where you can literally look at someone's origami and instantly know how to make it. I didn't know how to make this. What I did was when I picked up this dragon, I unfolded it like 6 folds backwards, and then I instantly knew how to make it. That's just basically lots and lots of practice and lots of time. I don't know if it's called talent, but talent, it can be developed, and I can't wait to show you guys this dragon. But first, let's finish this crane. Now, the side with the 2 pincers, these legs right here, what we're going to do is we're going to fold inward. We're going to take this edge right here and fold it. Now, you can make this a flapping crane or a flapping dragon, but we're going to just make a regular crane that just, you know, sits around and looks ornamental. Sort of the traditional, or should I say the original origami. Most origami experts, you know, when they know of origami or hear of origami, the crane is basically the first thing that they've ever made. In terms of origami, there's very few exceptions where anybody who learns origami is going to learn anything outside of the crane first. So I'm going to teach you how to make the traditional sort of standing crane. There we go. Now we have our little base. Now, what I like to do to go fast is I like to just pull this all upward and then just fold in. Well, the problem with that is that you're left with a lot of, without experience, you're left with a lot of give and way. I just tell people, start off slow. Pull this up. You don't want to, and you want to form a W. You don't want to put the tail and the head in the wing. You actually want to have it out a little bit. So we'll just pick a point like right here. And we'll do the same to the opposite side so that we form a W. There you go. Crease. Make sure you crease. Next, what we do is we pull it down. See how that there's this open valley right here? What we're going to do is we're going to put our finger, open the valley, and then pull the neck or the tail up. We simply reverse what was really doing a valley fold, sort of make it a mountain fold, and then through it comes, and then just pinch down right here. The exact same is performed on the opposite side. You simply put your finger in between the valley, pull sort of the tail or the head up, and then reverse fold it so that it now becomes a mountain by looking up from the top, and then just pinch down. And then next we form the head. You can go either way, left or right, up or down, it really doesn't matter. Either side can be the head or the tail. So Republican, Democratic, it doesn't really matter. So for now we're just going to go Republican right. I probably got that wrong. But the best way to do it is simply open it up right here and sort of pull the head down. Once you pull the head down, see this little V I'm creating? All you have to do is pull it down, reverse this fold. Notice how this was once a mountain, now it's going to become a valley. And then right here, see how that V is instantly forming? You just simply pinch down on it, and look, you have the crane head. And then next, what we do is we pull the wings apart, like so. Pull the wings slowly, and it sort of flattens out. And then now, you have your traditional crane. Get some practice with this. Know the crane inside out. When you know the crane inside out, making other stuff becomes easy. Like, you know, you go to a lesson and it says, oh, let's start with the crane base. This is it right here. Or that crane base. If you know how to make the crane, you can easily, with enough practice of making the crane a couple of times, you can just as easily get into the dragon. The reason why you always want to practice with the crane is because it teaches you, you know, sort of muscle memory or the geometry of a fold, understanding how the folds work, so that whenever you can just open up a book and instantly jump into origami, be it that it's intermediate and beginning. Obviously, when you go to the advanced stuff, it takes a lot more practice, and I will guide you through that in very, very future videos. So for now, let's just start on the easy stuff. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy your origami crane. If you'd like to make 1,000 of it, good luck with that. I don't think I've made it, well, I've never really made 1,000 crates and put them in a jar for some, you know, wish or anything like that, like the story goes. But I've pretty much made a lot of cranes throughout my life, but I normally don't make it this big. I normally make it out of as small as possible, only because to show that, you know, I'm very ambidextrous. And one day later I'll show you how I make sort of cranes out of gum wrappers and a smaller piece of paper, and how accuracy matters. But for the first lesson, here is a crane. Hope you enjoy, and always remember, food to life, food to paper. Oh, darn. I mean, food to paper, food to life. Thank you very much.